a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers.
Welcome to Free Range with Gail of Gaia, also known as Sha're-Tahlai'ah. And I am happy to let you know that tonight, Jenny Lee and I are going to talk about the Golden Age, where there's less fear, more sovereignty, less programming, and more presence with Prime Creator. We'll tell it like it is with grace and grit. So breathe, settle in, and settle your spirit and get ready and let truth light up your grid, because we are going to decode the Golden Age and what it really means. So let me bring Jenny on. Welcome, Jenny.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How about you?
Fantastic. Pretty good. Good. Could be better, but the Golden Age is coming in slowly.
It is. Well, I don't know. I think he is checking the list and just checking off what he promised, and he's going through it pretty fast. So
This is true.
Yeah. So like I've been saying for 3 years, I told everybody gold and silver and XRP, and now the gold and the silver's up. And it's going to keep going up. It's not going to stop. You might see days where it goes down and it comes right back up. But those type of material are going to stay very strong for a long time. So, and this is the thing, people like, I can't buy silver now. And I'm like, you should, because it's still going to go up pretty high past what it is now. So it's, I'd be taking it out of anything you can. And if you can buy it, and where you have it in your house is the best way to do it. Just to have it.
Okay. What about those people that can't afford to get any of that stuff? How are they going to have the
Well, let me tell you, you're going to see people with silver as in what they got in their house, what's in everything, because that's going to be one of those things that's going to happen. Because people are like, what do I have around the house that's silver that I could sell for money? I'm just telling you, it's coming that way. So, and my son has a thing where he melts it down and makes it a solid block.
Oh, wow.
So there's ways to do it. I mean, people get pretty handy when it comes down to this stuff. So it's going to change on that process. So, just want to get in there. So yeah, so that's the whole thing is the XRP. And I keep telling people that rings in everything is the XRP. And you're getting hints about it, but you're not seeing it yet. Get pretty handy when it comes down to. So, but we're getting there. That's the thing. So, so with the Golden Age, you're seeing the dismantle of the government, because we're going to a collective of regions that observe their people and are listening to the people. That's the thing. It's a council.
What a concept, eh?
Yes, it's better that way. The council. Mm-hmm. So in that whole process, and then all these fake narratives are, they're going to fall to the side. And this is what I want you to pay attention to. All these people that you see, and I'm just going to say this because I want to remind people one more time. When you start to see YouTubers and these people that were supposed to be coincide with the white hats and all that, and all of a sudden they're saying, well, I'm going to be under security and I won't be able to talk. That is not the truth. I'll tell you what's happening. their narrative's not going to be, it's not going to sell anymore because they know their regime of lies is at the end. And that's what's happening. So pay attention to people that are saying they're going to disappear and they can't do this no more. And they're going to blame it on some secret society and all this stuff because I'm seeing it. And the words are coming out and all this stuff. And it's just because those narratives are not, they're not matching up anymore. You know, where it comes down to the truth. It comes down to your true
That's
intention.
what the golden age is all about, isn't it?
I know, right? Everything will be
Less-
seen in the light for the truth.
Less
And-
programming, more sovereignty.
Oh, you know what? It's funny. This is the thing that I find it funny is being around the government and the way ranking works and how they disclose things and how they talk and how they put things under high security and you know, and I don't even hear these YouTubers. They don't even know that language. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that language of how they red flag something, you know, how it is top secret and what they cannot expose because it would put the mission in jeopardy on some things. And then
National security.
oh my God. And
they have used that for a cover for everything.
oh my God. You know, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to say it one more time. Yesterday, I was listening to that Sky Princess, which I am so irritated. I am over her crap and her saying, I'm going to have, everybody's watching me and people are going to come after me and that they're observing the ranch. And I'm like, you have no clearance. You are not in charge of the med beds. Absolutely not a thing in any way. And then she's concerned about setting up her sessions and then claiming that everybody's got to get paid for what they're doing. It's bullshit. It's bullshit across the board on this, you know, and the whole thing is that word med bed brings in money. In that process. So I'm going to look forward to watching that one fall to the ground on her damn cigarettes because I'm tired of it, because we know that the government is in control of that. We know that they're securing that at late at night, and they will move those late at night on an undisclosed area. They do not have a civilian that can't even talk the language or know the ranking divisions or any of the information, or even put the right kind of email address. Gmail? It's org. Government is org, not Gmail. So I'm just saying these little things I'm picking up and people are picking up, it's getting pathetic. It's getting pathetic. So, and I happened to talk to someone that was going under that and knowing that commander that was involved in that situation, and what was going to happen. And that's where it irritates me because do you think they're out in public eye? Do you think they're putting that out there? No, they're not. They're not advertising. They're not talking about it. So I'm ready. I'm ready for her crap to come to the surface because people want to get healed. Stop playing the game. So there's one. Because people want it to be healed. And it's just let it go. Let the people that are in charge of it, let them handle it the way they need to. And it's the military that's going to handle it.
They already are handling it from what I understand.
They are in their way. So there's my 2 cents on that one.
Well, I can't believe she's still out there, still doing that.
Panhandling.
Basically, yeah. Wow. You know, none of it's based on truth. That's the sad part about it. Yeah.
So the government is all about just not putting any of their people in jeopardy. And JP is another one. That is another one that they have on that side of the secret state program. And I just think he's just somebody that got caught on recruiting and he didn't get the position that he wanted in the military. And he's on YouTube So these secret missions and all that stuff, I don't buy it. So
Wasn't
I'm just
he?
saying, at the end, we'll know. At the end.
Was he with a Alex Collier, JP, or
Yes,
was
he
that?
was. But even there's certain fleets and certain, how do you say, Marines, Navy, SEALs, there's certain areas in the world that they're all stationed at. And so, and the missions that they go on and all that stuff. So, tell you, you can't talk about this stuff. You can't bring this stuff up. They keep it secured for a reason. And so, court martial would have happened already.
Really?
Would have been in front of JAG.
By the way, if you haven't subscribed to Rumble and YouTube my channels, I would really appreciate it if you do, because the algorithms won't let you know if you don't, and they still might. Even if you do that, they might not let you know. But so if you haven't subscribed, please do. Yeah, YouTube and Rumble, both of them. Rumble seems a lot harder to build up than, I guess more people go to YouTube than to Rumble, but Rumble you can say a lot more. But I don't know, it seems to be, I don't sense that the censorship is like it used to be.
No, it's not on YouTube. I'm not sensing that at all. But Rumble, I just never, it has to do with feeling it, and I just don't feel it. I can't get myself over there because I just don't feel it.
Rumble, really? Oh, okay. It's
for myself, I don't even recognize it in that way. I'd prefer Telegram or Patreon or any of that, because there's every platform has its energy, and that's the thing. And I just don't feel anything over there for myself.
Oh, that's interesting.
But there's other, there's new stuff coming in too. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think the ones that were, when we first started this, were in control of these platforms anymore anyway. So, and everybody's having internet problems constantly. And so there's a lot of stuff that's changing. So we'll have to see at the end of how things get changed around.
Do you think they'll actually cut the cable?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay.
To certain platforms and certain stations. So they're going to make sure that you're watching and focusing on that one station. Because if they just think you're going to turn it off, they're like, nope, this is the only thing you're going to be watching for a while until you get it. So I do feel that they have to really put it in their face, and they don't have a choice. And I think it's going to be funny because they're going to have it on their phone, and they're like, this is what you can watch. This is what it is. This is what you need to see of what's going on and has been going on for a while. So, yeah.
There's a couple other people in the chat that are mentioning not being a big fan of Rumble either. It's unorganized. I just find that it's really hard to get subscriptions on Rumble. It seems it takes a long time to get just a few people. That's what it seems like anyway.
Right.
Of course, I haven't been able to build back up on YouTube like I had before they took it all down. Have you ever been taken down?
No.
Oh, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. No. I don't know. Yeah, it's
yeah, they took me down during COVID.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of them took down at that time.
You couldn't even, you couldn't talk about it.
I saw that Laura Eisenhower has hers back because she got it taken away, and I think the other day, I think it was something that she got that channel back. So, and she had over a big number of people over there. So I think YouTube reinstated that for her.
Yeah. So, well, she's got name recognition too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't see why they were doing that with her either. But yeah, she's back on YouTube. So that's good. So then, we can go into the process, what I think is happening now is basically it's like reinstating a new process that we're rebuilding, and where the headquarters are going to be. And I think, you got all these different regions, and they're going to carry different departments and stuff like that. So, and that's what I think that's changing. And this is what you guys even feel. You could feel that the government, as in our U.S. government, you could feel like there's nothing there. You know what I'm saying? It's like a ghost town, but it's in a sense of the soul that it's gone. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. It feels empty. Like something has been completely dismantled, and the energy's been shifted, and we're trying to place that shifting. And that's why I keep saying is, as soon as they implement this process where you can put the guidelines so the people can understand the new leadership and the new money system and how society is going to continue to work in the new way of the golden age. So they need the structure to know what is coming. And the thing is, until they completely dismantle the old government and, to let that be known in the public, and this is starting anew, they can't implement those new guidelines. That's the thing. So, and that's why you're seeing so much activity happening with dismantling, because they need to get it done quicker and faster on this process. So, and people, if the military came out and they gave them structured program to go by, people would be just devouring into that. They would be paying attention. They would be studying it. They would be trying to figure out how they can do things the right way. So what's lacking right now is a structured plan, because we know the old regime and the old ways is not going to be part of the present day. So we're kind of spinning in a circle of space, and you can't feel anything. You don't know where to look, right? It's just a dead space right now. We are in a dead space, and that has to do with, we're in a holding pattern. We're in a holding process because the new leaders are being formed, but they have to be formed.
Where are they coming from, Jenny? Where are they coming from?
All regions. That's the thing. You got to understand, if you want to go back to how many countries signed on to this golden age, the quantum system, and the agreement of the countries, all of them, and they have to represent their region and what they need from their people. And as they come together as one, that's the whole thing. So when we do this is what I know it's going to happen. You're going to see in Washington, when you see this White House being all decked out and all that stuff, they're representing the new collective of the new, I don't want to say government, because I don't feel like it's a government anymore. We're not going.
That's good, because government means, governing your mind, and that's been the problem all along.
So we're not. We're going into a new collective of abundance and humanity, and that's what I think they're going to try to represent and put it out there in that process. So as they start to represent that and build that in departments, that's why they're not, again, nobody knows anything. It's supposed to be that way.
I don't think we have a government right now. I think a lot of, they've been removed.
Have the military. The military's in charge of everything. There's no real government going on.
Exactly.
So that's fine. So that's the whole process of this right now. And so we're going down to, the leaders, the bad leaders are being dismantled across the board. Now we're into the inner cities, taking them down. And they're going to start taking down the police departments. That's where you're going to see the security of the drones coming in, which you're seeing, taking over And, it's almost slowly dissipating that. And that's the whole thing. You're not going to see a big impact because you're just wondering where they're at, where they've been. And these new higher technology advancement is coming in and taking over the whole process. But it's a balance point on fairness and awareness across the board on things. And this is today, and I'm going to say in the last 24 hours, everybody's been exhausted in a different way, because I really believe everything's split in two different timelines now. And then it's changing. It's constantly changing. But everybody, what everybody notices now, they're noticing this layer is there's no chemtrails anymore. They're like, the skies are blue. They were always blue. They just had poison in the sky. And that's the thing, they are paying attention to seeing the clear sky, with everything. So the timelines, so there's that path I said. There's a 3D path where people only see it to their capability of their level of understanding. And then you have the 5D level, where we are able to see their view and see our path, seeing us through this. And that's the thing. Well, how is this going to change? And it's literally your conscience seeing through things, because you've been upgraded in a spiritual way of enlightenment and conscience and awareness across the board.
Awareness is big, because that's what's been lacking, because we've been living on lies.
Right.
And now as the truth comes out, there aren't as many lies to, how can you make any decisions based on lies that are going to be good for you? You can't. So, no. And I think we're going to see a lot more courageous compassion as well in time,
humbleness.
With people helping people.
Yeah, the humbleness.
Yeah.
You want to know when I think that's coming in is it's the reality of what they have done for years. That, okay, there's going to be a stillness moment of like, I think somebody was saying about 90% of people are going to be they're going to want to sign up in a mental institution after they know everything, because they can't handle it. So when that reality starts to sink in and you come back to, to a balance point, at this point, you should be like, I've got to look at everything clearly and see it for what it is, and be more humble about it and pay attention to things. But then you have another corner of that avenue that does not want to wake up. And then, we can put it in the organic systems. You can put it in the NPC systems. You can put it in the cloning process of that, whatever you want. But
I think it's NPCs.
Anybody right at this point that has no sympathy and empathy.
That's a big clue.
You got to ask questions about that right now.
That's a big clue right there. That tells you a lot.
It's huge. It's huge. And this is the, and it's on both terrains on both levels. And that is, if you really want to know what's changing, is the Generation X. We're very blunt and truthful air. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to take any crap, and we want to see it for what it is. And they've divided marriage up big time. They have put a split down the middle of it, because I am not going to take any crap generation. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's happened. And you're seeing the split because they're not part of the program anymore. But also with that split, they're looking at going, there's no potential people out there today, and there's no potential and I'm hearing it on both sides. But this is a big awakening to what's out there. What are the actual programs that are out there? What is the NPCs? What are the organic systems? What is a real human? Okay. So
when people find that out, they're going to freak out.
I know. They're cutting it down. It's already split about taking a shot. They already are not. They're already severed from that. They're like, if you have a shot, we're done. But what I'm saying is it's changing. It's dividing. That you got to understand there's a divide coming. There's the ones that have taken the shot and the ones that have not. And that is separated. They have done it on their own. They have decided in society, nope, we have nothing to talk about. I don't want to deal with it. You go your way, we'll go ours. So it's already changed in a different way, in a conscious way, because the free thinkers are on the right side. You know that. The stubborn warrior, alpha female, free will is on that side. And from after this process, they're even going to be more like that. They're going to be more independent and more stubborn about things. And the other ones they're going to be lost in a circle, not knowing what program to take from, not knowing where to take advice from, because they've been told what to do, told what to believe, told that they're sick, told how they're going to heal. You know what I'm saying? They have a different awakening to get to. So
if they're capable of it.
It's changing.
Yeah. I say that if they're capable of it, because if the percentage is as high as I've heard of people that are NPCs versus people that are either real humans or ET humans that came to help starseeds, so to speak, that kind of thing, there isn't that many.
Right.
Compared to the billions that they talk about the population is. Most of them are NPCs. So the chance of them, I don't know why they even talk about waking them up. How can they wake up if their program doesn't go to that extent?
They can't.
Exactly.
They can't.
So why are they saying that? Is that just an excuse for time delays?
I know. The example of that is you present an idea to them or anything that's outside that conscience. They'll go back with you with another program. This the same program that they've been taught. And they go reinstate that same program. And you're like, we're not gonna go outside the box on this. We're not gonna think deep. We're not gonna go hard on this. No. And they were like, I don't want to talk to you because I have nothing to say. I'm just saying, I mean, it's a divide already.
Talking about the weather gets old after a while, you know what I mean?
Right.
or just simple, very surface BS stuff. It just doesn't cut it anymore.
Exactly. So that whole gold line, and I'm going to tell you, you want to know about the council, you want to know about
people are asking about the councils.
Yeah. It's all right brain and it's all right wing. It's all right wing across the world. Across the world. The Democrats have showed their delusion to the extreme. I want you guys to clear this. What is it that they have not made so crazy and so delusional in their world, in their mindset, that is a reality that you're like, yep, they hit all that. I don't know what else. I mean, when they started bringing cat litter boxes into the school, I'm like, yep, we're there. We're freaking there. It's just saying. I was like, we're done.
I identify as a cat. Okay.
Right.
I mean,
it's just the whole thing. And it's just like, where's your shots if you're a cat, and then it's just the whole process with this. So they're none of the Democrats. They won't be leading anything. They can't be trusted at any process. So
that tends to be true for most politicians in general.
So anyway, what creates council is it's an independent mindset, an independent thinking outside yourself, and being able to make a choice and stand in that choice no matter what comes at you on that process. And we call those, they've already been seated in our lives. The ones that can speak in independent choices and make independent decisions and be strong in that. That's what, and you don't think that they don't know who these people are? They do. They've been watching us our whole life. in these choices that we're making.
They probably know more about you than you remember about yourself.
Oh, I know they know more about me than I ever wanted.
Same here.
Yeah.
There are some people that are claiming that they have had quite a few chemtrails, and if they're in big cities, I think they have changed the nature of the chemtrails, like you have spoken of in the past.
Yeah. I call them clean trails because they had to clean up what they tore down, just like the oceans. The ocean has to be cleared out for the damage that we've done. Everything has to be cleared up, the Democrats just make everything a dumping ground and they don't care. They don't care about anything. They just leave it in disarray. Look what they've done to the cities. They don't care.
I know. It's
and then you got Trump cleaning them up finally. He's literally having the shit crew go around and clean up human feces.
I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, I mean, he's got them in cities cleaning up and breaking down all these camps that all these people were staying at, and they were just doing their business anywhere, and they're cleaning them up. I mean, because there's so many hepatitis and stuff that you could get from that stuff. It's insane, because eventually, if you get out of control, it's going to cause an epidemic in a different way, and they didn't care.
No, they don't care about anything but themselves. That's the whole problem.
Yeah, to cover their ass. So the whole thing with this new energy coming in, a new clearing, it's rebalancing. So the skies are blue, so that gives you a sign of things that are to come. So you want to pay attention. I mean, it is warmer season than we are in the middle of October, and it's not gotten that cold yet. So it's just very weird.
Oh, even up there where you're at, that part would I expect it to be pretty chilly by now. But it's not, you're saying. Wow. Okay. Somebody's saying here, many creators are saying to take our money out of banks or we will lose it. Is this true?
Bullshit. I'm going to tell you why. And I've asked this question over and over. And if you have your account spread, it's good, because each account has to switch out overnight. And so what they want to do is these fake XRP people and all this stuff to buy this account and all this stuff. And I said I haven't bought nothing online. I bought one purchase online because I don't trust online. If I have it in my face and I can see the material myself, I'm good. You want to buy silver? Go to your local silver dealer and go find them to get the money. Do not. So leave your money in that account. We already know the Bank of America, that you should have took it out a long time ago. But what I'm saying, and plus those banks had to sign a contract. It's 30, and they had to have 30% gold to back up their own assets on things. So they had to get in line and do training a long time ago to adapt to the new process on everything.
They had to meet certain like Basel III requirements and then Basel IV requirements and that kind of thing. And if they're still standing, they did that.
Right. Exactly. So let's look at it this way. For the United States to go into a process of just saying all the banks are cleared out, and because honestly, the money would have no value if that happened anyway. So when you would pull your money, it'd be worthless anyway, right? If that happens, because the dollar's going to go so far down. So there's no value behind it. So that's the whole thing, is we think it's this material thing that you hold. As long as you have that, it's worth value. That's what people are just like, no, once it goes anyway. But that's why this gold backing behind with these new accounts have to back that up as it flips. That's the thing. And that's what's happening, when they make this choice to flip it. So the whole thing about this, and they're going to push it more, and you need to get this. I am so tired of being on Telegram and getting some stupid message from no person I talked to before. How's your assets? How are you doing? None of your damn business.
Oh yeah, I get that all the time too. Oh, have you changed over to the quantum
Oh
financial
my
system
God.
yet?
And they're
Oh,
just,
you got to do that.
there's that last scam part that they can get money,
I just
you
tell them I
know?
don't have any assets. I just tell them that. So then they usually will shut up after that
Right.
because they're looking
Exactly.
for a piece of your stuff anyway. That's,
Right.
oh, I fell for a
Yeah.
scam the
So
other.
the whole thing is you're fine. I mean, the quantum system knows where everything is, what you have, all that stuff. That's the whole thing. So it's going to flip. And this is what I've told you. You're going to see it go down. Everybody's going to freak. And then it's going to go straight back up. When they go straight back up, that's that flip. That's the whole thing that they showed me on that. I probably should do a whole remote viewing on the financial end of things. And maybe that'll make people at ease on that. But that's the whole thing is they have the backup system. So they have to tear one down and replace it with another, and they're going to do it at 2 a.m. Because I want to tell you, let's get a picture of a bank run in the United States. You know what's going to happen? This is the United States, okay? If that happened, you guys want to look at the big picture here. Now, people are at their edge on things anyway. If they don't get their money, you're going to see so many banks are going to be either blown up or set on fire, or you're going to see trucks driving through the banks. It's a little different here. They got tanks too. I'm just telling you, these people here, if that happened, they wouldn't take it lightly. It would be a totally different ballgame. And you wouldn't be able to pay attention to all the banks that people are trying to break in to get their damn money. I'm just telling you. So ain't no way. It would be a shit show across the board. No.
Oh my goodness.
So, it's just, if you got the Democrats losing their mind over just little shit, you imagine pissing the good old boys and telling them you can't get their money, or they can't have their farm money, or they can't have their seed money, or anything like that. I'm just telling you, they don't play nice. It'd be a different day. Different day. So I'm just saying, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. And they also are aware that Americans are well armed.
Yeah. So anyway, for that, so that's not going to happen, I don't think, in that way, that process and everything. And I think they're going to kind of warn you. It's like, just expect something to change within 24 hours. I think there's going to give some type of warning and all that stuff on that process of thing. But like I said, the ones that are complaining about the money and all that stuff, and you have all these king people out there, and it's like, listen, I have one thing to say to you. Return to sender. When you get the money from the golden age and this whole new government and you don't believe in it, return to sender. Guess what? You're not going to get one liberal that's going to send that money back. Okay? So my attitude is just shut up, because you're not going to do a damn thing. You're going to take the money. So
yeah, you're right.
they are. It's like return to sender. They're not going to do that. You know that.
Yeah, no, yeah, they're definitely not going to turn away.
No, not at all. Okay, so this energy has been hard to handle. The new tones are coming in. The field, it's all shifting, and basically, like, you see the pyramids, you see the ley lines, you saw the volcanoes. Everything's getting back to these like gateway stations that I think are reactivating. I'm going to get to them on this. So, I call them the gatekeeper stations of energy that's realigning. And I've always said this is one area. There's the salt lakes. That's that salt line that always are going to be part of that. That's important, And so Iceland, Norway, that's another one that I think that's going to happen down in that area, and the Pacific rings of the New Zealand, That's going to be another. So it's always going to have you're going to hear a tone and a frequency out of those areas because something's going to come back on activation on those process. So, and then Midwest here in that area is going to happen too. So, I've always talked about these tones and these vibrations that you're already feeling and people are hearing. And then, you're getting these sounds that they can't understand where they're coming from. And so look into, our history, the Tartarians, and then like Spirit was talking about the temples, the ley lines, the pyramids, that was all a frequency online at one time. And so those are going to come right back. But there's these gateways. And of course we know Antarctica is one of them. When that energy comes back online, which is coming, in which I think everybody's worried about this ship. And I believe that ship, if it's there, if you could go outside, they tell you not to go outside, you go outside, you look at it. That's activating something. And it would have to be big to get it reinstated again on an activation. And that's why they're pushing the fear on it. So I'm telling everybody to do the opposite of what they're telling you. Go outside.
What are you talking about looking at? Are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking about the ship that I have a different name from it than everybody's worried about. CNN's putting out on.
Oh, that 3-eye Atlas
yes,
thing?
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
And when that gets in the atmosphere, because I talked about a star, that would come, and so they can call it a ship or whatever. But there's an activation that rings in the golden age. It just happens at this.
Okay. Is it?
No,
It's a frequency.
Yes.
I mean, it's bringing
That's
in
all
a frequency. It's going to activate. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why I didn't get anything. I got the writing of different language, but almost like it was too bright to look at. So all I got was energy circulating around it, forming out of it, and so that's the thing about it. So I have to go back to the other notes that I had. But I did a ship on that, drawing on a ship like that too. But so this is all an activation mode. And this is where I'm telling you, get your asses outside.
Yeah.
Don't sit in there. Don't be in fear. Do the absolute opposite of what CNN says. So on this stuff. So, and then we go into these tones and vibration you're hearing in your ear, the numbness that you're hearing in your ear, the tone that's coming out, and it was never an om. It was always a hum. That it is connected in our vibration, in our solar plex, in our enlightened body. That is its own energy, its own frequency that's coming online too. So, that's the whole thing. We're going back to basically dismantling and shedding what man is implemented into our body, and, the limitation that we can't heal and it's all physical. It's not. So like I said, this is all changing. The tones will pass through, and you'll feel pressure around you, but people are already feeling this. People are already going through this, and that's the whole thing about it. Their bodies, and they're like, why can't I sleep? Well, I don't think we need it in the future anyway. Do you see aliens laying around in their beds? You don't. I'm like, does that tell you a sign? I'm just saying.
You don't need anywhere near the amount of sleep that way. Yeah. I think that's
it's humorous on it.
In the process of changing as well. And things are speeding up to keep up with the rising vibration of the planet. And that's part of why that happens.
Well, it's not that.
Oh my God, what happened to the week?
To memory. We're remembering stuff, and when we're going through this process of memory, and lately it's been, when I don't understand something, I want to figure it out. I want to know why I know a person, or know why it feels familiar to things. And, and there's certain things that you just don't know what to do about it when it's, you're trying to put the puzzle together. And it's an energy that But where, you have to look outside the box on the whole process of that. Not what they're telling you here. I got to go into my mind. I got to go into my conscience and try to remember why I know this. Why is all this familiar to us? And they suppressed our memory, and now we're coming back online on that process.
And some people come back faster than others, and sometimes it's it's a little different for everybody, but it's still happening to everybody.
It is, and that's the whole thing about it is, we're not as guarded in a different way because we're seeing the world change. We're observing, but we're accepting the change and observing. But we know when things are real now because we are going into feeling it and interacting with that energy of knowing it, because we're using our instinct instead of what someone is telling us. Because now we're like, yeah, sure, whatever. I want to know. I want to see it. I want to feel it. And that's the good thing on all levels of that. So the tone will pass through. There'll be pressure around us. So you just got to hold the truth. The light is, it's supposed to be at a balance point, and it'll return, and seeds will be reseeded in this earth again. Life will begin again. Nature will repair itself again, and that's the whole thing. Is a lot of us, we want to get past this process. We just want to get to the next phase so we can create and start over and do things right and help humanity. That's the whole thing.
Compassion, empathy, unconditional love.
And this is what I'm telling you. I want to tell you this, and I want you guys to remember this, but be careful what comes out of your mouth, because I'm noticing that things are manifesting so quick in a direction. Your voice has a frequency. Your voice of what you're saying has a frequency. And you push things in the directions, things are happening faster. Because, I asked a question 1.5 years ago, and I say within the last 3 months, I've been going through an experience that it's one of those things that Spirit goes, you asked the question and now you got the answer. And now you don't know what to do with it. I'm like, yeah. So it puts you in an awe on certain things, but it's a good thing. So all of us are going through different experiences, but your heart's involved in the situation now, and it's open. And this is the thing. Love is changing because it's not on a title. And I'm talking about worldwide. It's not on a title. It's not on a person's financial background. It's on the fact of the collective, of the trueness. We're going back to the trueness of caring about people and compassion, and it has nothing to do with their leverage.
The way we used to be.
Yes, sovereignty, but a level of, there's no advantage, and not of what you can get from it. It's what you can get from the heart and the soul, from the exchange. We have to get back to that balance again. That type of love again is the exchange of the energy. That's what's important. And
somebody has a question about the stock market. I don't know if you want to answer that or not. Will the stock market retract 40%? Kevin,
I believe that whole process of the stock market, because here we go with another corrupt society, is going to be dismantled, not in a fast way, but in departments, and then regrowing and making sure it's balanced. So I think there's some dismantling phases that are going to happen with that. So will the stock market retract about 40? A little more than that. I say.
I don't know about this one. Do you know?
I'm going to tell everybody right now. I've had gold, silver, XRP, and technology. You want to put your money somewhere? Technology. It's going to be vast, fast. You're going to see it. Technology. These new corporations that are evolving in technology, and the stock is low right now. Pay attention to those because it's going to go right up overnight on some of them.
Yeah, somebody says, I don't know who Edward Jones is. I mean, what about money in places like Edward Jones? I don't know what that means.
I don't trust Edward Jones.
Okay. I don't even know who he is, but that's okay.
Well, there's a mutual funds. There's it's an investment corporation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, yeah, gotta have money to invest. Anyway, somebody says maybe they'll like Trump if they get some money.
Well, I mean, that's what it. Okay, here's another example. You got money, and you got the collective of love, and that's the whole thing. When they mix those two, right, and they try to make them a part of each other, right, and it's backfired, right, and so you have to separate love from money. Period. On the situation, if you value that together, guess what you got? It's just a shit show. So what I'm saying, love has to be pure, and the intention's got to be pure. Money can brings that confusion in. So I think the way people look at money in the future is going to change. And that's going to be a good thing. The desperation of it is going to change, and that will value why they're doing things, and a true intention needs to be brought to the surface again.
Okay, somebody's asking this one. Jenny, will the money come right after the EBS showing or during? Yes. We're getting more about money than we are about the children again, but anyway.
Yeah. Will the money come right after the EBS? Yes, so the flip will. The debt will flip. Everything will flip. So no one has debt. It's a different deal. What are you going to do? What are you going to pay? It's just a fresh start.
As I understand it, there isn't any in the universe. There aren't any places that even use money except here on 3D Earth.
Yeah. Money is
it's a slave system.
It is evil.
It's a slave system thing. It is. Yes, it is evil. Because there's never a balance with it.
Right. Exactly. And it makes everything, because you value everything on that. It makes everything feel disvalued because you're looking at it in a money situation. And that's why this whole thing, like I said, when you combine money and love, and it is just screwed that whole process up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, where people need to get back to understanding their intentions of what they want of the soul, and what the soul needs and what the soul will be happy with, not what they see on the superficial end of it. People have to start looking inside a person and valuing that versus what they're seeing on the outside. Because the persona on the outside, look at Hollywood. Look at that shit show. That didn't work out very well for them. And all the glitter and glamour. No one wants anything to do with them now.
Yeah, who would after? Look what they did.
Look what they sold. They sold their soul to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got to divide those two complete across the board. So
yeah, we have come to we're in a society that measures a person's character by the size of their pocketbook, and that is just wrong.
I gotta tell you, I just find that unappealing, because I like to look at let's put it on a dating process of that, and a man's heart and soul is be put in their hands. You know what I'm saying? The scars on their hands, how hard they work, the scabs that they have on them. I'm just telling you, and that I value that. I value that. That's what matters to me. And someone with clean hands in a different way that has not worked from the bottom up, it's not the same for me, because I like the stories that behind getting where they have been, because it makes them humble, and that's the trueness of a person. When people are given a silver spoon, they take everything for granted and expect everything. That's the thing. I don't like that. You don't learn anything from that. I'm just saying. Right. It's takers.
Yeah.
And yeah. I've been around that.
Yeah, they never had to work for it. They just got it.
Right.
And so they cannot relate to somebody who has.
Yeah, exactly. And then my father was, he figured everything out, and he did everything on his own, and it's just a multitasker, and I'm saying that in a way, it's just there's honor in figuring everything out, and respect the scars that you carry, because that's led you to the person you are today. And the ones who just think they expect it and get it and it was handed to them, they never learn the value here. They never did. So there's some lessons that need to be still learned here from people that think that that's always the higher value. But I've seen a lot of people that are on that end that have a lot of money, and they are so miserable. They're so miserable.
Money doesn't buy happiness. There's truth in that. I mean, it buys comfort.
Money is dirty.
Yeah. It's bloody.
Bloody hell, right?
Let's see. I'm looking to see if we got any. Is Trump going to give us Doge money?
I think that's one area of it, but that's just one source.
There's a bunch of sources.
Yes, there is. I mean, when you see that birth certificate run, that's going to be insane. I'm like, I'll just hang in my house for 3 days till this mad rush is over. God, that's going to be crazy. But like I said, okay, just say everybody has money and everything's good and everybody's got money. The thrill is gone. I'm just saying, you have it all. I mean, and that people think if you buy this and buy that, and you're all going to be
after
happy.
A while that'll run out. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's the whole.
And then the realness of your soul and spirit is really going to go, whoa, well, is that all there is? Kind of thing with when it comes to money. I mean, after a while, I mean, what are you going to buy when you have everything you need? That's when you're going to turn your relationships and your compassion for others and things of that nature. Right. Should have been already in process a long time ago, but
exactly. But I think the people that are awake now, that are in these groups and on these, I mean, there is a peace that I see that is starting to reside in people, because they know they're seeing that it's getting done, and it's just a matter of time. They're in a different space now. They're in a different energy. They're okay with things of the process ending.
And that's good. Right. That's a good thing.
Great. It's great. And they're not in the fear. There's a lot less fear out there than it was before. And that's a good thing. They've done their own work and stayed focused on the right things. And that's the good thing. I believe that this week that you're going to see, it's, we're starting with the stream, and I think we're going to see some big waves hitting this week on arrest in a different way. And you're going to see a different aggression in the cities than you saw this light aggression before. The military's going to, I'm take it up to another level. Instead of leaving it at the yellow flag, we're going to go to a green flag on things. So yeah, we're in an operation, in levels, and it depends on how society takes it and how much they want to be aggressive on things. I mean, this whole cartel thing was, the equipment, the technology is advanced, and I think they're finding out right now that they don't stand a chance with the military.
Well, here's a good one for you. Somebody's asking, who will probably feeding and loving the baddies in jail? Assuming they're baddies.
Assuming.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a
another
big assumption in this judicial system, which is just as
well,
corrupt as the financial system.
That has to be filtered through too.
Big time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another society that's going to be split up.
Yeah, that's.
So yeah.
I'm just looking at some of these questions. If there's any other questions, we're probably coming up on an hour now.
Right. Yeah. So
I got
a
quick question for you. What about the the real estate market? I was under the impression that's going to be a big.
That's going to hit the ground, baby. It's going to hit
good.
boom, because let me tell you, gas going down, groceries going down, and already seeing it. Prices starting to go down, and all these greedy owners that had to go up. And guess who's paying the price right now? Is all these big corporations thought they're going to keep building apartments and overpricing apartments. And guess what's happening? They're sitting empty. They overdeveloped, they overbuilt, and now it's going to crash. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to start to see it very, very strong in about the middle of December. It's going to hit hard.
So prices on getting housing are going to go down substantially.
Yeah.
That'll be good. That'll be good for me.
This is going to be.
I've been having a heck of a time.
So all terrains of housing and land is going to go down. And we pushed out all these immigrants, and we were housing them all. And now, guess what?
They can't get their money either unless they go home to their original country.
They're not getting it from our government no more.
They're going to be taking a lot of losses. The places that they bought, the places that, that should be very interesting how that plays out. All right. Well, that being said, is there any other?
Well, no, I want, just keep an eye on the stock market, keep an eye on the frequency, keep an eye on California, the dismantling phase of that whole shit show that's going on down there. That's coming into process. Trump is he's got a chart of what he's hitting, and he's just going down the list and just taking it out. So he's going to make sure it's all done on everything. So, and then again, I think, like I said, there's going to be some demonstrations and some guidelines coming out. Just look for that for the actual government. And I'm not talking about politicians. As that is presented in this process of what we're going through. So, don't be holding your breath with the banks, just because this is the bottom line. If it goes, your money is worth nothing anyway. This is nothing to keep if it completely goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think they're going to be pretty careful how that happens, so that because people would go, the uprising I told you,
they'll do certain things. I'm telling you, people are at that edge.
It wouldn't be pretty, and people are pretty on edge right now.
And that's the whole thing is everything I think is in just like a layer of a play, and each layer financially is coming in play, and there's a chain effect that's going to hit everything. And that's the thing. The whole thing is I'm waiting. Like, all I got to see is that XRP go all the way up. Outrageous. And then that tells me the golden age is here. Here we go. Get on the wave, because it's going to be a crazy ride. It's coming. Silver is going to go up to 300 or 400. So keep watching silver. So they're making all excuses for everything to cover up everything, but I'm just going to tell you, you're going to keep seeing it go up. It's not going to stop.
Well, the golden age is where we choose integrity over illusion, and courage over comfort, and compassion over control. Right. Those are things that are an important part of this whole
sovereignty
process, like you said. Yeah. So
and we understand that we're not enslaved. We clearly look at what we're controlled by daily as we walk out of our house, and pay attention to what your free choices are in a daily process. And that's what you need to really look at. Have you really been free? No. And so now you can look at it a different way.
Exactly. All right. Well, I think that pretty much sums things up. Keep your eyes open to what's going on. Things are changing, and they're changing in a positive way.
They are. Exactly.
So be a part of the process. So, and that is staying in the heart, walking in the light, and caring about your neighbor, and not just your relatives either. When people start showing more compassion to each other, that's a big thing, and that's part of the golden age. So.
But I think, like I said, I think there's something that's going to bring us to our knees. And at that point, when we rise from bringing us to our knees, humanity will be humble.
Yeah. Yep. I get it. That makes a lot of sense, Jenny. And thank you so much for being with me tonight. And I think we will call it a show, call it a wrap at that.
Yeah, and everybody knows how to get a hold of me, and Patreon and YouTube and everything else. So we got all fixed out. We'll figure out another show.
Jenny's site.net. Yeah, I think I have to put stuff into the description, because we threw this together kind of quickly. So I'll add that at some point. But I think everybody knows how to get a hold of you anyway. And please like and subscribe. It helps the algorithms, and share it, because the algorithms aren't going to share it. Mm-mm. So we need your help in that way. And we will be on again soon. So take care. Oh, the bells. Yes. Thank you for remembering. And remember, never forget about the children. This has all started because of the children.
Yep, it is. Okay, guys.
I want to get a big loud bell.
Anyway.
Alrighty then. Thank you so much, Jenny, and thank you, audience, for listening and for participating with your questions and so on. And if we didn't answer them, just come on another show and we'll get to them eventually. So take care. A lot of love.
Okay.
Stay in the light.
Stay in the light. Good night.
Good night.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day. left your voice for